Welcome to Razzball Radio on the Fantasy Sports Network. I am Nick Capozzi, and I am so excited to be in Washington, D.C. because I have my man, head football editor at Razzball.com, Jay Longfellow, a.k.a. Jay Wrong. Jay, welcome. I'm so happy to see you, man.
It's way too much energy. Oh, my goodness. It's okay. You made it.
Alone for so long.
And I got to tell you, D.C. is, of course, very excited to see you. You can tell from the Washington Monument.
Just see, it's your first day. You got to talk right into the microphone.
Right.
But there is the Washington Monument. That is as close as we could get to anything valuable here in Washington without the Secret Service, the man messing with us. But we are here.
That's actually because of Smokey. He's on their list. So
that's right. So Rob Langevin, a.k.a. Smokey, our loogie out of the bullpen, is going to be joining us for the next 2 weeks. But we have right now Jay with us. We're doing Washington and Baltimore today. 2 shows. It is going to be nuts. So without further ado, Jay, let's get right into it because we got to talk Washington Redskins, or Washington Football Club, whatever you want to call them. You know, the Washington. How about the Washington Monuments?
you were doing fine. The Redskin potatoes. You can just finish it with that. Doesn't offend anyone. Makes me hungry for my starch. I think we can go that way, right?
All right. I love it. I love it. I'm excited to see you two in person because we can actually talk some cooking stuff. Okay, right into the Redskins team report. Let's start at quarterback. RG3 and Kirk Cousins. RG3, there was a game recently against the Cleveland Browns. A little bit freaked out, not going to lie to you, because you and I are in the Fantasy Baseball Bloggers Legend League. I drafted him in that league. It's a 2 QB league. Well, it's a super flex. Anyway, he was diving all over the place. He was sliding. I'm not comfortable with this. I drafted a drop back passer with some scramble ability. What's going to happen with RG3, my man?
Actually, I like how you describe the rules of that league. It's very. I actually had to hire a lawyer to look at that league. I mean, the rules are just insane. But yeah, RG3. It just comes down to health. KC1 is there, but this is really, it's like I got to eat this thing. All right. Yeah, no, RG3, like I said, it comes to health. If his knees hold up, it affects the entire offense. It's pretty obvious. But, if he's not there, let's say even last night, you watched the game, he took some hits. I was worried. I don't even know why they're letting him scramble in a situation like that. But
in a preseason game.
Right, and in a game that means essentially nothing. It was kind of worrisome, but look, if his legs are working, he's not going to be downgraded to RG2 or RG1. He's going to be RG3, and you'll see guys like Pierre Garçon. You'll see guys like Deshaun Jackson. They'll get their fair share. He's gonna have his tight ends. He's gonna have that mid game. The offense is there for him. It's up to him.
Yeah, and this offense could be really good if he stays healthy. Real quick, like 2 seconds. If something happens to RG3, is Kirk Cousins rosterable? Yes or no?
I think he is, maybe matchups, but I get the feeling that there'll be better options on the wire. Something like a Jake Locker, maybe a Sam Bradford, and I think it's something to keep an eye on. But
that was a great answer to a yes or no question.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, okay, Pierre Garçon, Deshaun Jackson. Looks like Deshaun is going to be taking the top off the defense. Pierre Garçon, I think, might actually be the more interesting guy here. What's your take on the wide receivers for this team?
A lot of people mention that, there won't be enough targets to go around. But we see a counterexample to that with the Chicago Bears. I mean, it may be a Trestman thing, but, Alshon Jeffrey and Marshall are able to thrive in that offense. Why can't, even without Cutler last season, so why can't Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garçon doing as well? In fact, with Deshaun Jackson, I think he's being so devalued because of that mix that you can get him as a deal. Even if yeah.
Which of the 2 wide receivers would you rather have?
Garçon. I think that's easy, but
he's not being drafted that way. Every draft I'm in, it's Deshaun Jackson going first.
Yeah. That's a surprise to me. Maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about.
No, it's not that. And this is one thing I've been talking about on the tour consistently is when you actually get in and draft with your homeboys and homegirls, it is completely different because you and I are used to expert consensus rankings, where guys are supposed to go, who's supposed to be drafted where, and you get into a live league and it all goes out the window. So, okay, 3rd wide receiver in the mix there?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
okay, there you go.
Yeah, there's a no. We'll go no.
All right, running backs. Alfred Morris, obviously the lead back there. Roy Halou could have some value. I'm worried that the line is not going to be very good. So I'm kind of conflicted on Alf Morris because in one respect, I think that because the passing game could be really good, could open up lanes for him, but I think that line's going to stink.
Yeah, I think Alfred Morris, I think he takes a small step back only because I think in a Gruden offense, I think he'll really utilize Halou more than Shanahan did. So I think he could be PPR viable, just like, just to get off topic, but Dexter McCluster, I'm picking him up everywhere too. I think these 2 backs have the same kind of skill set, maybe not the same talent, but I think they're going to be used in a way that they could become PPR helpful to your teams.
Okay, I bet you right now Roy Halu's agent is calling up, the head of Washington football team, trying to get traded to Ken Wisenhunt's Titans. Okay, anyone else in that backfield of relevance?
No.
Okay, where are you comfortable? Give me a round. What round are you comfortable taking Alf this year?
I see him as still a second rounder. I mean, I think you could argue first round in standard leagues, but he kind of is in the same area as maybe DeMarco Murray. I have DeMarco Murray ranked high, but you have that risk that brings him down a little bit. You have a Lynch who, with the threat of Michael coming in, his you'll see a devaluation there. So I'm comfortable in the early second round taking him.
Okay, I'm cool with that. Now, here's the guy that I think could be the biggest breakout star on this offensive team. If he stays healthy.
David Wilson? Is it David Wilson?
Why you got to bring up David Wilson, man? Why
it's in my contract. Sky and JB made me sign it, so I have to mention him at all times.
All right, let's not talk about David Wilson anymore. Jordan Reed, if he can stay healthy, has the chance. It's not crazy. I've been saying that a lot. But, again, it's not crazy. Jordan Reed could be a top 3 tight end this year if he stays healthy.
He can be, but the thing about concussions is they worry me a lot. They can really take it just takes one hit.
Oh, I hear you, man. I'm not touching Welker, but, if I'm in that, tight end area and Reed is there, I feel I can find a tight end off the wire. We got about 15 seconds here, so real quick. Jordan Reed, where are you comfortable taking him?
Behind everyone. I'd rather have Pitta. I'd rather have Gates. I'd rather have a lot of other.
Oh, you and I are going to scrap at lunch. Yeah. Okay, guys, we are in Washington, D.C. My sugar daddy for the Washington football team, the player that I think is going to grossly outperform his ADP is Jordan Reed. There you go. Nah. So what we're going to do now, we have to hustle. Today is a busy day. We're going to go draft in Washington, and then a big show tonight in Baltimore. We're going to talk Ravens. Smokey's with us. Jay's with us for the day. This is Razzball Radio, Fantasy Sports Network. I got people. I have people. There are people with me. Thank goodness.
I was never one for traditional dating, which is why I like to meet guys on arrangementfinders.com. Arrangement Finders puts a twist on dating that works so well, they guarantee you'll find a girl. That's right, guarantee. Sounds too good to be true? Check out these girls on arrangementfinders.com who are looking to date. She's hot. She's hot. Okay, her, not so much. Anyway, it's free to join. Go to Arrangement Finders and meet girls like me who know what you really want.
Welcome back to Razzball Radio on the Fantasy Sports Network. We have hauled up the I-95 from D.C. We're now in Charm City, Baltimore, Maryland. I am here with Jay Longfellow, the editor of fantasy football for Razzball.com. Jay, we're in Charm City. We're in Bmore, man. Where's the crabs?
I know. This place is actually pretty amazing. Actually, the entire area is amazing. With D.C., it's famous for the Civil War reenactments. And I got to tell you, being in Baltimore, they have their own thing going here, too. It's great. I think a block away from here, they were reenacting scenes from The Wire. It was amazing. In fact, this one guy came up. He was so into it, he was going to stab us. And good effort. Bravo, Baltimore. Bravo, I tell you. They really love it here, don't they?
All right, we are in Baltimore. We got a big draft happening tonight. So we're going to talk now. We're going to do our Ravens report. You ready for that?
I am.
All right, so let's start at the top, of course, with quarterback Joe Flacco. Not a guy you want on your roster. If you are drafting Joe Flacco, don't look at me like that, Baltimore guy at the bar. You do not want Joe Flacco on your roster for fantasy purposes in a 12-team league. If you're in a 2-quarterback league, maybe. Am I wrong? Is there any reason you might possibly want Joe Flacco in this situation?
I don't know. If you feel like you're in a league with a category for elite eyebrows, you might want to go that direction. If it gives points for checkdowns, elite checkdowns, he's viable in that format. So
we're basically saying no to Joe Flacco, right?
No to Joe Flacco.
Sorry, Joe. No Joe for you. What are they going to do with that contract? That's going to hamstring this franchise. You know it's going to happen. That's why they lost so many guys on defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Andy Dalton contract, though. It's not like these elite quarterbacks are falling off trees. You just kind of pay and hope for the best. I mean, the Ravens have won with a bad quarterback before. Flacco's not bad. He's just average.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, but that's when the defense was elite, which it isn't right now. All right, let's talk running backs. Obviously, Ray Rice going to miss the 2 games with the suspension. Gives Bernard Pierce an opportunity. The only problem is he's got 2 tough matchups, so it's not like he's going to come out and, torch the opponents, although you never know, it could happen. But I think there is a chance that, and we'll get to Ray Rice in a second, but that Bernard Pierce could grab the reins on the job and kind of relegate Ray Rice to a 3rd down role. You with me on that?
I think we were saying the same thing last season. It just never came to fruition. I don't like the running game in general. The offensive line looked terrible last season. I'm not sure what they've done to improve it. And I don't trust in that part of their game. Actually, I don't trust anything in their offense, really. I mean, it's kind of a slog and cog type thing. I just made up a phrase. There. That's it.
Slog and tog. Okay, you gonna patent that?
I think it was a cog. I think you're mixing up your consonants. What is a tog? I don't know what a tog is. I don't even know what a cog is, but let's just go with it. Cog and tog.
All right, so we are actually at Little Havana. This is a really cool spot. We're not quite in the Inner Harbor. We're not quite in Federal Hill. We're not quite in Locust Hill, but Little Havana, great bar down here in Baltimore. Okay, so Bernard Pierce, I think you and I are on different pages. I actually like Bernard Pierce. I think there is an opportunity there. The offensive line is okay, but I think there's a chance he might be one of the few fantasy-relevant players on this team. Let's talk Ray Ray. Ray Ray getting the 2-game suspension. I'm seeing him go right now 5th, 6th round. That's a little too high for me because as good as he's been in the past, he started to slow down a little bit. There is a ton of miles on that body, tons of touches, not just in the NFL, but at Rutgers as well. What do you feel on Rice this year?
Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. I mean, with Ray Rice.
With me? Awesome.
I am with you. We are like this, my friend. It could be all this alcohol next to me. I'm actually with everything around me. But
you haven't even had a drink yet.
Yeah, it's happening. I mean, it's calling to me. But with Ray Rice, the thing is he kind of just runs around for 2 yards and then does nothing. I mean, that's if you want that on your team, that's great. I don't see him having a good year. I don't see him having a good season unless, I don't know. It just...
Wow, that is on-point analysis. If I've ever heard on-point analysis from Jay Wrong, that's it. Now, come on, Ray Rice, what's he going to do? Throw some stats out. You did your projections this week at football.razzball.com. Give me some projections on him.
Yeah, I think I have him down for maybe 700, 800 yards, a couple touchdowns.
Are you serious? But is that really what? Okay, but come on, this is for TV, Jay. Focus, man, focus. But is that really what you're kind of projecting him for? I mean, really, throw your numbers right now. I won't hold you to it, whatever you projected on the site. But what are you thinking?
No, I think his range is probably anywhere from 800 to 1,200 yards. I mean, you were looking at the upper end of 1,200 yards. That's his, kind of his ceiling probably. But how far away are we from that ceiling? I think we're a couple years from it. And I don't think he can reach it anymore. I think I'm not saying he's old and brittle, but I don't see a scenario in which he is fantasy relevant like he used to be. Okay,
but you're saying that Bernard Pierce isn't going to be relevant. I mean, someone's got to run the ball in this offense because I don't think they're going to throw it very well.
Well, like I said, I don't have much faith in the offense in general. I don't think it's a very good team.
Okay, no, I'm with you on that. And you know what? We have to be careful saying that in Baltimore. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I don't think they're going to be very good either. But I do think Bernard Pierce could. It's not. I could see him getting 1,000, 1,100 yards, maybe. Yeah. No, I really think he could. You think I'm nuts?
I mean, not nuts. I mean, maybe pistachios. I don't know if we're going.
Pistachio is a nuts. If you're going to be a smart ass, get it right.
No, Bernard Pierce had, like I said, he had this opportunity last season. He didn't do much with it. So I don't. What's changed this season? I don't know. I don't see anything.
Okay. No, listen, I'm not gonna. Okay. You know what? We need to get someone else's perspective in on this, I think. All right, let's start talking about the wide receivers. Torrey Smith, good at one thing in football. That's running in a straight line, occasionally catching a pass. I think he's overrated. He's also been going around 6th round. What's your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I think that's too high for me. I see more of as a wide receiver 3. I mean, his points kind of come in
bunches.
Yeah, in bunches, really. And I don't like
groupings.
Yeah, in grouping. It doesn't, like I said about the offense.
Bundles.
Yeah, we could just
bushels.
Yeah. Baker's
Go ahead.
You want to get technical here? Okay. No, I mean, I just don't have faith in that offense pushing the ball. They don't have an upfield game plan. Flacco, he likes dumping things off, which is great for a guy like Dennis Pitta, for Ray Rice and PPR leagues. But I don't see the offense being able to get those yards in large chunks, and that's his game. That's his Smith's game. So.
Okay, so any other, and we'll get to Pitta in a second when we talk tight ends, but any other receivers that are going to be relevant at all in this offense this year?
Well, I think in PPR, I think Steve Smith you have to pay attention to. I think he's going to be more of a slot receiver this season. And in terms of, like I said, PPR, I think he might be worth taking a look at.
Okay. Listen, I kind of want to argue with you. Yeah, I do want to argue with you. You know what? No, I can't argue with you because I don't think the Ravens are going to be good either.
Let's just drink. Why argue?
Okay. Listen. Here's something you won't argue about, and that's collecting league fees is a headache. So get sportsvault.net to do it for you. They will take care of everything. They send out the emails, they collect, they redistribute it. Makes you a superstar commissioner. What'd you do for it? All you did was signed up at sportsvault.net. So get on that. Okay, this is Razzball Radio, Fantasy Sports Network. We're going to be back in Baltimore. We got more going on in Baltimore tonight. Tomorrow we head to Philadelphia. I'm Nick Capozzi. He's Jay Wrong. We'll be back in a minute.
I was never one for traditional dating, which is why I like to meet guys on arrangementfinders.com. Arrangement Finders puts a twist on dating that works so well, they guarantee you'll find a girl. That's right, guarantee. Sounds too good to be true? Check out these girls on arrangementfinders.com who are looking to date. She's hot. She's hot. Okay, her, not so much. Anyway, it's free to join. Go to Arrangement Finders and meet girls like me who know what you really want.
Welcome back, Razzball Radio on the Fantasy Sports Network. Still in Charm City, Baltimore, Maryland, home of Camden Yards. We actually went down to Camden Yards today. What a stadium! Gorgeous, wasn't it?
Yeah, I love it there. It's been a bastion of awesomeness. If I can use that.
You can use whatever you want. Your English is better than mine. I'm from Montreal. English is my second language, and French isn't my first. Figure that one out.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing experience. I guess you saw it for the first time, right? I mean, you were just in awe. I think, especially during game time, just the ambiance is what it's all about. I've never been to a more beautiful stadium. It's just too bad it's in an area where you could get shot. You know?
Okay, come on, man. You know what? The Baltimore Tourist Board is going to, call us and ream us out. That's not funny. Baltimore is actually a cool city. The Inner Harbor is great. It's very safe. And it is two great stadiums here. You've got, of course, Camden Yards. You've got M&T Bank Field. And that, by the way, concludes our Razzball Fantasy Baseball podcast for this month. We were supposed to do Fantasy Baseball podcast, but, with the cluster bomb that was me going from a three-man crew down to a one-man crew, although thank God I've got Smokey back, we weren't able to do that. So we had to throw some in for the baseball people.
Is this the prerequisite guru name drop? Do we have to? This is like every show, right? You're under contract to talk about him every show, yeah?
I'm not talking about anybody. I lost two guys, not one guy. Okay. Back to the team report for the Baltimore Ravens. So we talked about Joe Flacco is not very good. The running backs are not very good, in his opinion. I like Pierce, and Pierce is actually on probably about 60, 70% of my teams this year. So I think there's upside with Pierce, especially because a lot of people this year, but a lot of people are going with wide receiver strategy. Yesterday in Charlotte, we had all these experts there, and I saw some guys going wide receiver, which was crazy to me. So you are going to have to find some running backs that are going to hit, and I think Pierce does have the upside. And look, Kubiak's here, so it's something to watch. All right, Dennis Pitta. This is a guy that a lot of people think could be a emerging tight end, very good pass catcher. What's your take on Dennis Pitta?
Yeah, you had a perfect segue there talking about Kubiak and Dennis Pitta. I think their relationship together is almost like a Norv Turner, Kyle Rudolph relationship, not to get to another team. But, you could definitely see Pitta being successful in the system. All he needs to do is be healthy, and he can be a top 10 tight end, a top 5 tight end, in fact.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Even though I'm down on the offense, I'm not down on Pitta. Again, health, it's a big deal. That's the big deal. But he could put up a big year in this offense.
Okay. No, listen, I'm with you on that. So, look, man, you came to D.C. today. You're here in Baltimore tonight, and then you're skedaddling. I saved that word just for you. Smokey is going to join me, thank goodness, from here until Chicago. Then Sky takes over in Chicago, so I will have people with me just, to lug the camera around, to occasionally drive. But
basically your servant. He's your servant. That's
I prefer the term surf or indentured, serv.
Yeah, okay. We'll go with that one. I can't correct you. I can't backspace and do my editing right here. So we'll just go with that. And then, yeah, he's that. He's definitely that. No.
All right.
I have to say, it's gonna be tough losing Smokey. I've had him by my side, and he does carry things very well.
Yeah, no. Smokey's very good at carrying stuff. We might actually see Smokey in the next couple days. Hopefully, we'll get that handsome face on camera. All right, my sugar daddy of the day brought to you by ArrangementFinders.com. The Baltimore Raven that I think is going to grossly outperform his ADP. The easy one for me is Dennis Pitta, but I'm actually going to say Bernard Pierce. I think Bernard Pierce is going to be the Baltimore Raven this year that actually brings value to the table and is going to outperform his ADP. And I know you're going to disagree with me, but that's fine because you're leaving and I'm holding the microphone. So quite frankly, that's how we're going to wrap this segment up. All right, we still got a little bit more coming back. This is Razzball. I don't even know. I think my name is Nick Capozzi. I'm like so many days on the road.
Can I have a sugar daddy? I want a sugar daddy. I need the sugar daddy. What is this? Come on, tell me.
ArrangementFinders.com. Razzball Radio, Fantasy Sports Network. We'll be back in a second. All right, we're still here in Baltimore. I'm with Jay Wrong and Nick Kerr. Nick is a Razzball fan from back in the day. And Nick, I'm going to be honest with you, when we were first putting this together, we had like nothing, like crickets in Baltimore. But you put this together, man. You're getting dozens of people out here tonight for this draft. We are amped up for this. How'd you make it happen?
Plenty of people want to play fantasy football around here, so I told them Razzball was coming, got a place to draft. You guys showed up, and so did everyone else.
See, it's all about the truck, and you know what? I didn't realize it when I put it on at the time, but the map, people are like, they're like moths to a flame with the map, man. Everyone wants to look at the map. Okay, Jay Rung, you wanted to ask a question to Nick, Baltimore related. Shoot.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I got to say, being in Little Havana, it's an amazing location, I have to tell you. You know, you got to figure the real Havana is at least, 900 more square feet. So, but yeah, on to the questions. I like getting a view of what the local fans are thinking. And, in terms of Joe Flacco, a lot's been said about him, and I need to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being sort of elite and 10 being too elite, where do you place him on that scale?
We're going to have to go with a 1 there. And I think most of the fans around here will agree, even though I'm not a native Ravens fan. So, he wins games. That's all they care about.
Now, you're actually from New York. Jets, Jets, or G-Men?
Jets.
Jets. What else you got, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, just to follow up on that question, in terms of fantasy, let's use the same scale, elite. Where do you rank his eyebrows?
I think they rank somewhere around mine in like the 8.5 to 9 range. So they're pretty plump.
Nick, I got to ask you, though, man. I mean, that hair looks hurricane-proof. I mean, is it hurricane season here? Are you expecting something big happening on the coast?
I mean, I saw Gray come on in San Diego, and I was like, I just got to do him one better. So,
because you know what, we had actually done another segment with Smokey, and when you tweeted me today and you said I'm going to knock Gray's hair out of the park, I'm like, I got to put Nick on. Jay, what's your assessment on Nick's hair?
I think it has potential. I mean, obviously, it's not close to mine because I use a special conditioner, because there's so much surface area of hair, so I think on the terms, we're kind of on an even playing field. I'll give him the handicap because he's got the guns. I don't have any guns, so not to get too violent, but yeah, I think that's where we're at. Yeah, we don't want to get too violent in Baltimore,
Baltimore's a great city, man. Baltimore's getting a bad rep. Now, I actually, when I used to work on cruise ships, I used to dock here actually in Dundalk, so I spent a lot of time in the Inner Harbor. But you tell me, since you've moved here, I mean, like, it's got to be like crab. I mean, that's got to be the main thing to eat here. Are you on board with that, or are you going to throw me a curveball?
Crab is definitely good. There's tons of bars, though, that do good pizzas, burgers. I mean, this is a great...
But I'm talking authentic, man. I mean, what do you got to eat if you got one day, one meal in Baltimore, let's say last meal in Baltimore, what are you eating?
Crab cakes at G&M.
Okay, cool. Can you go pick some up? Like, is that a possibility?
I'll be right back.
Okay. That actually works. Jay, you know what? I got to be honest with you, man. We had, in Washington today, we had a great lunch. We had some awesome Peruvian chicken. I was told I had to go to get Ben's Chili. You took me for Peruvian chicken. What was your logic?
The logic is, Ben's Chili Bowl, it's a little overrated. I know I might go missing after saying that, but it's really a good place to eat. But I like the Peruvian chicken place. It's El Pollo Rico. If you're ever in the D.C. area, you got to check it out. They're just wonderful. They've been there for so long. It's just, I'm salivating right now. I'm getting hungry. I'm about to eat this microphone. I'm so hungry at this point, thinking about chicken.
No, it was really good. Okay, so we got so many people tonight. We're gonna have to do like multiple drafts, so it's really exciting. After we do this draft, of course, my man Smokey and I are gonna hit the road, and we are heading up. It's gonna be a busy week. We got Philly, then Hoboken, and New York. We got Boston, Buffalo. Lots going on. Lots of good things to eat too. I mean, that's one thing. I've been eating my way through the tour, but seriously, I got to find a place to like get some crab around here because I'm in the Inner Harbor, but I'm not seeing any seafood restaurants except for like a $5 sushi shop across the street, and I'm not gonna try that. What's around here, man? What can I eat? I gotta eat something. Well, look at me. I'm wasting away on the road.
I think you should get something with bacon at Little Havana's.
Okay, that's a good answer, but I'm kind of done with bacon. All right, this is Razzball Radio, Fantasy Sports Network. Thanks for joining us today. We got lots more going on. I am Nick Capozzi at Nick Capozzi, NickCapozzi. He is Jay Rung at Jay Rung, JAWRWRONG. Anyway, whatever. We'll be back tomorrow from Philly. I need a cheesesteak whiz wit.